Are your deepest fears related to personality type or personal experience? Do people of like personality types relate to the same terrors? Well, one MBTI researcher put this question to the test, and what they found from asking 352 INFJs across various forums is certainly interesting. Welcome, or welcome back, Psycho. Before we start, have you liked and subscribed to our channel? Go ahead, and be sure to click the notification bell while you're there so that you never miss a video. Alright, let's get right into it, starting with the INFJ's first deepest fear. Number 1. Darkness. Enjoying a starlit evening or spending the night camping in the woods isn't the type of darkness the INFJ fears at all. In fact, these unexpectedly calm environments can actually make this personality type feel at peace. Paradoxically, the contributing INFJs of this study claimed they deeply feared dark spaces in their homes. Simple things like getting up in the middle of the night to use the washroom or be the last one to check if the front door is locked can cause their wandering minds to do exactly that. Questions like, if there was a ninja ready to attack, now would definitely be their chance. Heck, scrap the ninja narrative. What if I heard the front lock I just locked mysteriously unlock as I walk away? Dark corners, empty rooms, and even long hallways can easily be filled with terrifying ideas from their active imaginations. Number 2. Their own imaginations. Speaking of terrifying ideas and imaginary visions, surprisingly, this isn't the only reason the INFJ often fears their own vivid imaginations. With notably rich and realistic imaginative thoughts, it's not as if this introspective type doesn't enjoy spending most of their time in their own heads. Yet, at the same time, these predictive and self-convincing abilities can get the best of them. Since they're so used to relying on their most dominant introverted intuitive function, aka the visionary component of their otherwise logical brain, things can become difficult to process when their thoughts become deeper than they've yet to understand. This is most common during an INFJ's childhood and adolescence, where these strongly held and often naive beliefs can be rather scary. During this time, not only is the INFJ trying to find their footing within their cognitive functions, but also with self-esteem and self-acceptance. With this combination, they can end up with some seriously frightening future projections. Number 3. Busy crowds. Overstimulation of any sort can kick this stimuli-sensitive personality type's social battery into quick drain mode. But crowds in particular can actually cause the INFJ to feel rather fearful. Whether it's the inability to observe so many people at once, the fear of other people's intentions, a subtle sense of claustrophobia, or even the lack of control should something happen, crowds come with a unique stress-related fear for this personality type. From concerts to Boxing Day shopping, heck, even a busy parking lot or neighborhood will have the INFJ on hyper-focus mode out of fear that someone should happen to not be paying attention. Add being responsible for small children or pets to the mix, and the INFJ will be in full-blown panic mode. Number 4. The evil potential humanity holds. On the topic of large crowds and the fear of other people's intentions, despite how much empathy and deep hope every INFJ holds for their fellow humans, they are nowhere near naive to just how ugly, dark, and frightening some people and parts of humanity can be. With a need for understanding, yet a reluctance to dive deep into anything that they can't emotionally come back from, the true wicked potential of humans is one thing this type fears enough that they don't mind to take the ignorance is bliss route. However, while they prefer to give their mental energy to the more positive side of humanity's capabilities and achievements, the fear of the unknown and people's potential ulterior motives will always keep the INFJ's guard up beneath their friendly surface. Number 5. Making phone calls. While this may be a common problem among most introverts, phone calls can hold a special place in this personality type's book of fears and overall rather nots. It may not resonate with everyone with the INFJ personality type, especially after years of practice. However, most INFJs tend to agree this is one of their weak spots. Although there's technically no way to pinpoint as to why speaking on the phone as opposed to in person would panic this rather extroverted introvert, it could have to do with the INFJ's need to subconsciously process a person and their expressions while speaking. Something that is removed from the conversation when it's had over the phone. One INFJ blogger from CreateYourOwnReality.co explained their experience by saying, "Man, phone calls are the worst. Personally, I don't mind being on the phone to catch up with a friend or someone I know. In that situation, I can often be on the phone for hours without thinking twice. Yet, every time I have to call someone I don't know, whether it be to make an appointment, track down an order, or something similar, my heart starts pounding at the mere thought." Number 6. The loss of a child. With no surprise, the loss of a loved one was among the top fears of most personality types to some degree. Whether it was fear of losing someone in their family or losing someone they loved, according to the MBTI study, INFJs were the only ones who specifically mentioned a deep fear of the loss of children as opposed to a more general sense. While of course the act of losing anyone is not exactly a comparable topic for that matter, MBTI practitioner and Enneagram coach Susan Storm says that INFJs are known for having very strong emotional bonds with their children, and for being very protective parents, so this may have something to do with the nature of their responses. Number 7. The supernatural. According to the mentioned MBTI study, the INFJ was the personality type to mention fear of the supernatural and paranormal far more than any other type. Known for their belief in spiritual and metaphysical matters, this fear may be due to the fact that they just have a deeper belief in the supernatural world. In fact, some INFJs may not even see this as a fear, but rather a curious unknowingness that they're not sure if they want to be proven right on. Since they're not keen on holding superstitions or beliefs with no proof, INFJs may spook themselves by following their curious nature on supernatural matters through researching others' experiences. Number 8. Ghosts. Speaking of the supernatural, there's nothing more hair-raising than the concept of the afterlife spooking us Earthlings for fun. While some INFJs specifically claimed to not believe in ghosts at all, others were convinced in and feared their existence quite strongly. Within the study, most INFJs who mentioned this specific fear had a story to go along with it, so past experiences could be a crucial aspect to their beliefs. So, even for the rather rational INFJs who technically don't believe in ghosts, it's possible all they're missing is an unexplainable spooky experience. Or encounter rather. Number 9. Being left abandoned. Considering their fear of being too naive to the darkness of humanity, INFJs are known for having a difficult time trusting others. In fact, when it comes to love and connecting with others, they have a habit of looking for hidden meanings behind other people's spoken emotions and acts of love towards them. The most difficult part is that most of the time this happens without them even realizing it, mostly because this subconscious behavior is rooted within their fear of abandonment. This can cause them to require that constant reassurance that they're not misunderstanding or misinterpreting acts of devotion. According to PsychologyJunkie.com MBTI researcher, these factors can cause them to have difficulty trusting people, difficulty accepting love without restraint or apprehension, and difficulty feeling like they can be 100% themselves. Number 10. Insanity? In reference to this forum-based study, fear of insanity came up far more frequently among the 4 IN types. With strong introspective abilities, imaginative innovations, and, at times, out-of-the-norm beliefs, INFJs, INTJs, INFPs, and INTPs are most likely to look deeply into hidden meanings and connections. Sometimes so much so that their perspective of life and reality becomes quite different from the majority. Another fear factor when it comes to their mental functions is losing their most precious aspect of themselves. With a heavy reliance and honest joy that comes from spending time immersing themselves in their own thoughts, they take the idea of losing their marbles with a little more consideration. Well, that's it for today, psychos. So, what do you think about these 10 fears? Do you relate to them as an INFJ? Tell us in the comments below. Also, don't forget to leave us a like, share with your friends, and also subscribe to our channel for more psycho videos.